Welcome to Prestige Encounters, the Dungeons & Dragons campaign, brought to you by Lich Souls Gaming. I'm your Dungeon Master, Michael, and we have an exciting session in store for you tonight. But first and foremost, we have a few announcements to get through. First and foremost, for the second time in a row. First and foremost.
Second and first most.
A lot of music we'll be hearing tonight is brought to you by Midnight Syndicate. Midnight Syndicate is a music production group creating goth, horror, and fantasy RPG music that you can be using at your tables at home. For more information, go to midnightsyndicate.com or use the command !midnight in our Twitch chat for a clickable link. You can listen to their music on Spotify, watch their music videos on YouTube, and even ask your Amazon Alexa device to play Midnight Syndicate right now. We have artwork. Artwork was created by Jeremiah. Jeremiah is Rosad in this campaign, and he's been in the campaign since its first campaign. So join our Discord using the command !Discord in our chat for a clickable link to lichsouls.com/discord to message him and say, hey, I will give you monies if you make my character into pretty art or cool art or whatever adjective you want. The world is your oyster.
Pretty cool, you know.
Pretty cool. Pretty all right.
Yeah. Oh no. that's
like
not right.
my DMing. So there's that. Indeed. Only Crits is a sponsor again for tonight's stream. You can go to onlycrits.com, use the command Lich Souls, not the command, the code Lich Souls at checkout for a discount on your dice and dice related accessory order on their website. Only Crits in our Twitch chat for a clickable link at your convenience. Indeed. Also, really exciting news. This past Monday, we launched our Minecraft server. It's a Java Minecraft server, the most recent version of Minecraft. Mostly vanilla, relying on the community to build the spawn city and the hubs in the Netherland End. We will be introducing dungeons with their own unique bosses and items as well at a later date. We're waiting on development to be done on that. But you know, it's a good time to get yourself established in the server because it's going to take some build up to get to those bosses anyway. So, you know, come join our server, come play Minecraft with us, claim your plot of land in the spawn city. For the first 2 weeks, the plots of land in the city cost iron bars instead of diamonds. So come be part of the fun. It's a great time. More information we found on our Discord. And we're missing Josh and Megan tonight because of a very sudden power outage. You know, that's fun. Yeah. And that's all the announcements I have at the moment. Is there anything else that we have?
The Rothschilds paid their power to go out.
They're actually water bots anyways, so this is fine.
So how about we play some D&D?
Sure, let's do that thing that we came here to do. Everyone excited? Pumped,
After 2 weeks gone, grab your drinks, grab your snacks as we welcome you to our table. And we begin tonight's session of Prestige Encounters. And here to tell us what happened last week in their very own words is none other than
me. Hi.
Very good. Take it away.
All right. We've been riding along in the cart through that desert, you know. Mid-sip through my ale when boom, Team Veiled Vanguard blasting off again. This time by a huge amethyst dragon that instantly vaporizes our six-legged acquaintances out of anger that we are hiding someone that stole something from the Drailworm Dragon's Horde. I don't really get it. Do you get it, Valerie?
Sorry,
anyways,
paying attention to your notes. Is everything okay there, Nioki? Okay. Sorry, I'm speaking in your head. This is not really happening.
Crazy, right? Emlyn has the grace of a worm herself, you know, her big ass boots just clanking over, and now we have this giant big old dragon just staring right at us, asking us if we know what's going on. I don't really know what's going on, but apparently they do, because Valerie goes up and asks them, hey, we didn't do anything. We don't know who this man is. It's just some old man. Leave him alone. And unfortunately, due to that, we now have yet another person that is now after us. Not right now, but I'm sure they will be, knowing our luck. Now, once that was all taken care of, at first the man wouldn't tell us a single thing about what he had stolen. But Valerie, with her forceful ways, has managed to make him spit it out by showing us the shiny necklace thingy that Karakuris, I wanted back, but he claims that he stole it for someone else. But I honestly think that's an excuse that Razad or Valerie will say whenever they just want to pickpocket someone. But turns out the party trying to snag the actual thing was the stupid priest and his group of jerks who sent us to the Earthen Realm. But with that said, he suddenly transforms into a huge blue dragon himself. Like, what? Maybe I had too little to drink, but my eyes could have sworn he was like a dragonborn before this. Not the whole draconic lord. He says his name is, Q something. Hey, Valerie, I need you again. What was his name again? I had sand in my ears when he took off. What? Okay.
Sorry, I'm not actually in your head. You're imagining these words.
Krolgryth. Right. Well, that happened, and then Razad suggested that we try to get to the place we need to go. But first, we needed to tie up Cram with his special bands along with a safe word. Are we actually sure these aren't used for something else? But we felt the ground shake around us when this huge turtle comes out of the sand, and the only thing I'm thinking is like, poor thing, what's he doing out of the water? Do you need a drink? Well, before I could conjure some water for our big turtle, a platform descends and Razad claims it was safe. Spoiler, it wasn't. We almost all fell off. Until this dashing dragonborn named Shasoth saves us and even offers us a drink. Ugh. My hero in shining leather duds. He also offered us the rooms of his friends, as they all apparently were on the trading caravan that was turned to ash by Karakuris. He wished us good night, and all I'm thinking about is how good he looks when he leaves and the drink that he left on the table unattended. But apparently this place is home to magic casters who can use high-speed incantation and, like, whip out spells like nothing. I wish I could do that, but unfortunately every time I try, I end up biting my tongue. Ouch. And then after having literally the worst drink I've ever had, that pretty much everyone but a couple people spat out, this big busty tabaxi lady comes over offering us drugs. I asked what drugs are, and I just got a dirty look from Valerie, and then Talia was like, they're really bad, you shouldn't have them. But I'm like, Talia, you're always a bit prudish until you get a few drinks on you. But Valerie bought one anyway, despite Razad just being like, no, She claims it was for science, but I'm not sure, but I kind of want to try some. But after that, it was pretty much time for bed, and yay, my pile of leaves and flowers, here I come. But unfortunately, it was rudely interrupted by Razad telling us that we need to go right now to turn Cram in, with these big guys as our personal escorts. I caught the name of one by the name of Big Jim. He says he likes playing with dolls, and that he's popped the eyes out of one of them thanks to Emlyn making big friends with him. I'm not really sure how she did that, but there you go. As we arrived at HQ, Big Jim shows off his brutish strength by turning the sentry into jelly. Just a big old bloody spot on the HQ. Isn't that fun? And then Brightvane, aka Razad's boss, is not very happy with us. He's like, why didn't you turn Cram in immediately? I needed him now. Which Razad begins kind of, stammering. He's kind of scared. It's kind of cute. It's kind of cute seeing him kind of a little sensitive, not knowing what's going on. But then we found out as we get into the room that one of the people that sent us to the Earthen Realm is right there, and Razad, being the lovely person he is, snitches him out completely. And then I'm not really sure what he did, but what he said exactly, but all I know is that the Burkle, unfortunately, he is not very happy. He looks a little pale, actually, as Big Jim grabs him by the shoulder and escorts him out personally. And then after that, we began bartering with Brightvane again, asking, please, is there anything we can do to get Cram back? By us, I mean Razad, because the rest of us are not a part of this. Unfortunately, unless we can cough up 1,000 platinum, it's just not happening. And Razad says, like, is there anything that I'd be willing to trade myself or steal? But they begin to argue, and that he says that we should be scared of his group of mercenaries because he'll send them after us if we don't give over Cram. And I'm like, why would we be scared? We've literally been antagonized, killed. We literally have the God of Deceit on our heels. I don't think we should be very scared. And I guess that was kind of like a bad choice because he ended up telling me specifically to go die via Razad's knife that he dropped on the ground for him. Oops.
Thank you so much there, Naoki. So, as we left off in the last session, so the boss, Mr. Brightvane, tossed a dagger to the floor as it skitters across the ground. The metal clangs along the planks. Due to his lack of confidence in Naoki from the answer he decided to give, he tells Razad that in order to proceed on with the party, he must kill the druid. And that is where we last left off. Razad, what would you like to do?
Razad, he picks up the knife and he looks to Mr. Brightvane. He says, "Sir, listen, I'm loyal to nobody else, but and I understand this guy's not exactly the sharpest tool in the shed, but he's useful. I mean, like as he's talking, he's kind of painful expression grows on his face. I mean, Mira was useful. She brought me back to life, even though she died. And I'm one of your best assassins, right?"
Now, Razad, you were indeed one of my great employees up until recently when you were delayed on your delivery. It's less about my confidence in you, but my confidence in this here fool of a man. Not being scared. We should all be scared. It means that we're going to be smart about our actions and the choices we make to stay alive.
What I'm trying to tell you, boss, is that he's expendable.
Make a persuasion check.
May I, Mr. DM, to give more context to what he said, get advantage because Razad just said that basically his former lover was expendable as well.
You may.
All right. Okay. It's an 18.
18. Okay. Mr. Brightfang stares at you for a brief moment, not showing any particular emotion across his face. And after a few moments of silence, all right, big man, I'll give you your way. But when you're on that way to kill the worm for me, I'm gonna keep this one here as collateral. He gestures over to Cram. Simply because as of right now, he is the goods that we are trying to sell.
I understand. And what of our dwarf friend?
We'll keep him busy for a little bit longer, a couple days at least. From the way that the Grand Tortoise is moving along this city, worm ain't to be much of an issue. To get there and back in 2 days' time, I think that's mighty doable.
All right. Thank you.
Now, why don't y'all get up on out of here before I change my mind?
Yes,
Of
sir.
course.
He's
Comintia, let's
points
go.
to Cram. Except you. If your friends don't come back, I might make you into a new teapot.
He's like filled with this like viscous liquid. He would not make a very
Little
good
lady, I
teapot.
did not
Move-
give
move
you
your
permission
ass.
to speak in this here office.
Well, anyways, we're leaving.
Smart choice before you say something else mighty stupid.
Let's go.
Emmeline's just waiting outside right now. She left immediately, moment that she was dismissed. She'll just be sitting there. Do we know where this worm even is?
Really?
Which direction?
Quazad, do you have any specific details? You know the area better. I mean, you told me where to go. I would need a map.
Would he know anything about it?
Make a nature check.
Okay. That's a 20.
So, a lot of the dunes in the area is particularly to the west, near the Goraxian crossing, is where the purple worms nest. That's actually what causes a lot of the sandy hills. And that's where you travel to find the city of Nalthis as it's roaming across the wasteland. So you imagine that you're probably walking in worm territory as it is.
Yeah, I know where to go.
In particular, Mr. Brightfang, he wants the poison that you can get from this worm, and some of the parts as well for alchemical selling on the black market as well. So
All right, no time to dilly-dally. We got to keep moving.
The bloody middle of the night. Are we going to set off now?
I'd rather not keep him waiting.
We don't have much time.
Okay, if this is something you think we can complete today, just beware. I need my beauty sleep.
Yeah.
tell me what you're doing.
Because we were about to take a long rest. If we're gonna, like, did we say it's gonna be 2-day journey there and back to get to this worm, kill it, or
You have 2
like-
days to go find a worm,
Yeah,
kill it,
yeah.
and come back with the parts that you need or supplies.
I think our best bet would be to get some rest and set out early in the morning.
Unless you think it's better
Yeah.
to travel at night, Rosette. It is the desert. I've heard it's hot in the day, cold at night. Is that true here?
It is technically a
Well-
wasteland. It's a mixture of like mesas and sand. It's not explicitly a desert, if that makes sense.
You're the expert.
I don't know. I feel like we can get some sleep on the way. I can't go back to sleep right now.
All right.
Okay. Should we have Talia stay here, see if she can maybe keep an eye if they move Kremgaku out while we're gone?
That might be best. She could scout after them if they do take him somewhere.
Okay. Good. Well, we'll follow your lead, Razad. This is your companion, your boss, as it were. You know best.
He'll lead him back to the tavern where they were, sleeping for the night so that he can get Shelby. But then he'll have to take him back to the lift.
Okay.
Is the turtle still moving right now?
At the moment, the city has stopped.
Okay.
Emlyn, have Featherfall ready.
It's
It
fine.
is.
I'm assuming there's maybe like a night watchman that mans it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He'll, ride or guide Shelby over, lead her over with everybody behind him. Hey, we need down.
Alrighty then. Go ahead and get on up on the platform. You're lucky she ain't moving at the moment. Wonder why
Yeah.
you're falling off.
Does the city move on like a predictable pattern, like where we would know to meet up with it in 2 days?
Are you asking as a DM or the night watchman?
I guess Valerie would say that. Just saying, we have to journey, be back to the city in 2 days. Is there another expected stop? I know. Again, I'm not an expert on this region, but
She goes where she pleases.
okay.
Mostly
so
stagnant during the night, but if there's danger nearby, she gets up and moves.
I suppose she can't pull into her shell. Okay. Well, I mean, I presume it's not too hard to track a giant turtle city.
No, that's what I have this for. He taps on his sending stone earpiece.
Oh, okay, good. Sorry I wasted the time with the inquiry. Let's go.
Do I need to roll something for like white knuckle gripping?
Roll
the
for
railing.
anxiety.
Yeah, last time it was hard because it was in movement. This time it stopped.
What would that be, DM? A D20 plus 100?
So there's this like a winch that starts to turn at the top where this like really frayed rope is starting to unravel as it comes down to a point that's then distributed to the 4 corners of the platform. It creaks. It seems like this platform was made from some of the scrappiest wood that you can possibly find, as you slowly descend to a cool night within the wasteland. It's completely dark around you. There's not a single light other than the stars above and the city, but it gets darker as you descend. And soon enough, you're on the ground.
Yeah.
Guys, I can't see anything. Is it alright if I cast light?
Is it alright if you cast light there, Azad? Otherwise,
Excellent. And she'll just go ahead and cast the light cantrip on her hat.
okay. Well, where do we go now?
We're headed to the tall hills. They stick out. Not something that's normally formed by the land like a hill would be. It's real fresh looking most of the time.
Right. Okay. Well, if we get lucky, maybe we'll find one tonight and get back before the turtle rises. But we can't do this all night.
Maybe we'll find eggs.
Do worms lay eggs?
I thought they laid eggs. Is
I
there
don't
live
know.
birth?
I don't know.
Well, they must have some kind of nest. Maybe we could find out and do research.
Are their eggs poisonous?
Could take some. Was that? What do you think?
I'm not a worm expert.
Yeah, okay. You know a lot about nature.
Not a lot about worms, but maybe.
All right.
All right. So we pick a direction where there's big hills, and let's go. I mean, we're wasting time, and that's all I can say.
How is everyone feeling? With the
Tired.
whole time limit thing.
Not great. I feel like Kamgaku keeps being the punching bag for every scumbag in this bloody world, huh?
Yeah.
He
It's,
tells me he doesn't mind.
It's because he's too polite.
I'm gonna take it as I hear it.
Okay. Well, I assume we go off in a direct. Is there like visible like hills based on what Rosad described in the area, or are we just gonna have to set off in a direction?
So I'm gonna have you make a survival check.
Yeah.
Because what you're doing is you're gonna try to figure out the relative location as to where the tortoise is, based off of and where the hills are from the map that you have, and use the starlight to kind of guide you in that direction.
Okay.
That is what's happening here.
So we need. I'm not.
Is it
very
collective or one person?
I mean, whoever wants to do it, but Valerie is the one who is trying to figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not really sure about this area. Rosad, can you give me a little helping hand here?
Yeah.
Okay. So where are we on the map? And yeah, and can I take that advantage?
Yes, you can do that.
Okay. One roll. 18.
So roughly when you got onto the tortoise, you're a little bit to the south of the hills, and you can guess that she's probably moved about to the northeast adjacently to it. So if you head anywhere to the east, you'll eventually run to the hills. But however, it's so far in the distance that your dark vision, if you have it,
Which I
would
do,
not
but
show.
it's not.
Like 60 feet is not that much.
Okay. We can head in this direction until we get either lucky or tired. And again, I'm not sure if I want to fight a creature that can see in the dark at night. Huh? I presume as a worm it can see without any issues. So, but let's go.
The entire time they're traveling, by the way, Emmeline will be bombarding the entire group with questions. Does it have eyes? Can it see? Is it attracted to light, fire, noise? Who knows?
I imagine most of the answers are I don't know to that question. So you begin to move. There is nothing but the soft occasional breeze as you are heading through this desert. Let me get you some ambience, if you would. There we go. All right. You started to use the stars in the sky as your guide to navigate through all these badlands. Go ahead and make a perception. Can I get a marching order, actually? I need a marching order. Who's in the front? Who's in the back?
I feel like Rosad's probably at the front. Maybe
Okay.
next, I don't know if Valerie would be next to him since they're both navigating.
Valerie will be just behind him with the map out.
Okay.
Okay.
Emmeline can be in the middle. Just
I'll
yapping.
be fourth.
So that leaves Renatus in the rear. Can I get a perception
Yeah, that's
check from Renatus and from Rosad, please?
I forgot to take off advantage, but that's a 23.
23. Okay.
Good.
That was right myself. Also 23.
Wow.
23. All right.
Natural 19.
There's not much to perceive as it is very dark. You get the scent of as if rain is coming. That almost earthy scent. We all know what rain smells like, right?
Yes.
Sure.
This occasional skitter of you don't know what rain smells like? Wow. Anyway, the occasional skitter of an animal as it comes out during the cooler parts of the night. Renatus, you catch a snake, grab a rabbit. But nothing seems to be in the way or sneaking up on you, that is. Rosad, as you're walking, you catch a juvenile snake in the ground that you nearly step on, but manage to avoid doing so. And it's been a go ahead.
Can I attempt to grab one?
Yeah, make a sleight of hand check.
Yes. Okay. $13.
13. As you go to bite this, it quickly dodges out of your way. And grab it. It quickly dodges out of your way and it's going to try to bite down on your hand. Does a 19 hit?
Yeah.
I mean, yes, but I'm wearing a glove.
Does a 19 hit?
Yes.
Okay. It can pierce through gloves. Can I get a Constitution saving throw, please?
No.
Ooh, that's bad.
9. All right. You're going to take 11 points of poison damage. You start to develop a bit of a fever. You start to hyperventilate. Your heart begins to race as you can feel it pounding your chest up into your ears. You all watch as these dark marks appear across Emmeline's veins.
Naoki, can you do something?
Let me look.
The snake slithers off into a nearby bush, disappears.
What kind of snake was that?
I'm assuming a poisonous kind.
Of
Type
course,
that you
but
don't try to grab.
You
Your
don't know what
vision
kind of
Renatus,
starts
go
to
look at it.
swirl
Life.
as the voices of your companions begin to deepen as you begin
Valerie,
to go
like-
through a psychedelic trip.
She's poisoned. Naoki, you're a healer. Can you not do something? Anything?
I have knowledge with poison and venom.
So you don't have like magic or
Shit's
Not on me.
that's not how magic works.
Oh my god. Are you fucking
Evelyn-
serious?
Oh, okay. Rosad, we need to set camp.
Oh my god, guys. You would not believe it. Crazy. She's gonna like have her hands just in the sand right now, losing her mind.
It feels like you're grabbing clouds.
Mhm.
But then the clouds begin to melt, and you watch as your hands seem to start dissolving from the acid it suddenly became.
Oh, holy shit.
You
I don't
start
have
to
hands.
sink down as the sand begins to rise around you.
Oh my god. Goodbye. Goodbye, friends. She's gonna start sobbing.
Valerie will just hold her shoulders, saying, "It's okay. Everything you're seeing is just what the Rosat. Like, what do you know? Like, we can't just let her. She could be dying."
You look over at Shelby, and Shelby says to you, "Emmeline, are you all right?
Finally.
I don't know what's going on."
You've gotta listen to me. My hands are gone.
No,
Okay.
yeah.
Valerie, lay her out. I do have an herbalism kit at least.
Lay
I'm
her
not.
out.
I'm not talking her out for you.
Val, I don't know what you want me to say. Usually people don't try to grab the fucking snake going through the sand.
Are you surprised at her? She grabs everything. She's probably gonna try and eat it.
Oh, sorry, I thought better of her.
This is why we have. Why don't we have a cleric? We have to hire a cleric the next city we go to.
I don't know.
I know there's spells that can remove poison.
I know them. I just don't have them on right now.
If we're gonna set camp here, I feel like we should probably restrain her or something so she doesn't run away.
I have silk ropes, and she starts to tie her up. Why do you
No
think
words.
there's silk?
As Valerie is tying you up, her head begins to completely rotate into a 180-degree angle where now her face is upside down.
Okay, why are you scaring me with your shifting thing right now? Why
Her
are you
eyes
doing that?
sink back into the sockets and come out through her mouth as she looks at you.
I've never seen you do
Sorry.
this before.
Sorry, can you describe exactly what's happening so I can try to mimic this? And
So yeah,
I'm
your
not doing
head,
this. It's okay.
your
Calm down.
head is,
You'll just.
your chin is at your crown, and your eyes are now in your mouth teeth. Like,
That sounds uncomfortable.
is this physically? What
I
is
don't
happening?
know.
Emily's on the verge of like breakdown. She's very interested in what's going on. But she doesn't. She's never prepped herself for any psychedelics. It's not. She's never had any
Renatus'
like.
boots begin to shift and shake as snakes tear out of him, and you realize that the snakes are now his toes.
Renatus, no, No! She's gonna start struggling in the wrappings.
Make a strength check
Okay.
against the ropes.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Break my silk ropes.
16.
You strain against the ropes, but it's really hard to break free at the moment.
Okay.
So
It
you guys
doesn't
build a
take long
camp?
for
Are
her
you
to
creating a
get
fire?
tired.
Do we even have
As a
sticks?
survivalist.
You guys are really lost without your ranger. Tell me what you're doing. Are you building a camp? Are you making a fire? What are you doing, y'all?
Obviously, yes. Valerie's going to be calming, trying to keep Evelyn from losing her mind, even though she's tied up. What is that?
Evelyn's- Evelyn's trying to
build a
mage
fire.
hand right now.
Make a medicine check,
And-
Valerie, to see how good of a trip sitter you are.
Yeah. That's 15.
15. You have a pretty good idea of what's going on.
Yeah. Should probably. Honestly, we should probably get one of those snakes to get a sample later, huh?
I need a cigarette. I
Gonna
need a
make another
cigarette.
Constitution
Need a
save
cigarette.
for me there, Emily.
Yeah. Valerie will light a cigarette for her.
21. The cigarette saves
After
her.
a few hours, the effects of the venom begin to fade. Don't forget to apply your 11 points of poison damage, though.
Period. Okay.
As the dark veins begin to recede, as it gets broken down in your bloodstream and in your liver and fades away.
What a thrill.
Note to self. Mage hand.
Nate had
Next
the
time.
snake next time, right? Yes.
Mage
Like,
hand
don't.
snake.
I don't know why you did that with your bare hands. It's.
I wanted to eat it.
Well, you can cut the snake's head off first.
But that would have
Right.
come after. Yeah.
Normally, you just kill the snake first, and then you cook the body, and you know
I just scared it for you.
that's scaring. It's the problem.
Well, scared it away, like just away from its.
I'm glad your toes aren't snakes anymore, Renatus.
And if
That
you
was very
need
stressful.
a small animal dead, I can just throw one of my daggers at it, and boom, its brain is mush. It's that simple.
Okay.
You could ask next
Were
time.
were there bright colors on that snake, by the way? What did that snake actually look like?
So the snake had a brown zigzag, like a Z, going down its back with turquoise colored scales.
Mm. Yeah. If Talia was here, she could have, she could have.
Evolution would
really
tell us
helped
those are warning colors. That's saying, don't eat me. I'm dangerous AF.
I think I'm just gonna go to bed.
Do you want
I'll
me to
wake up.
untie you? Are you okay? Or,
I should be. Yes, please untie.
okay. Starts untie her.
I'll get up for the last watch early in the morning if that's what we're choosing to do. But
You need to sleep.
I'm pretty beat.
Who's taking first watch?
Valerie will take first watch because she wants to make sure everyone's okay.
There are currently only 5 of you, so plan accordingly.
Well, Renatus does 2 watches normally.
So Valerie, who's
And
Rosad could take first watch as well.
Valerie Rosad, and then we have Emmeline last. Naoki will be second, and Renatus will be with Naoki and Emmeline. Go to make a perception check for me, one of you with advantage. Do both of you have? Do you both have dark vision?
yeah,
All right, so one of you
At
with
plus
advantage,
5.
please. Well, you are
College.
sleeping, so you don't get to make your perception check.
What's
I'll let
your
you do it.
what's your bonus?
+2.
Okay, yeah, I'll do it.
One of my
Oh,
worst.
I had.
It's a 17. I didn't roll that good.
Still better than if it was me.
Yeah, that is the minimum I can roll, by the way.
Yeah, I'd say. So just roll everything. You know, sometimes I worry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worry about what?
That we're a bunch of fucking idiots, even the smart ones.
Oh, I know you're a bunch of fucking idiots.
Yeah. You could be more helpful, though. I mean, this is kind of your world, isn't it? Or am I just misunderstanding? I mean, are you just visiting here?
How do you want me to help here?
I don't know. Lead the charge. If you not like to lead.
I'm taking you all to do this mission. This is a shit show.
The whole thing is ever since, I mean, I feel like we've never spent more than a couple of minutes talking, but, you know, they seem to have made some peace with you, but, I mean, this job you were put on is a... this is going to be a problem. This job you were put on is a... You know? They send you... The people who are sending you to get Kramgaku are the same ones working against you, getting Kramgaku back to them. I mean, this makes no sense, right?
I know it wasn't my boss doing it to me.
No.
It's an elaborate, I don't know. I don't know how they could have... It doesn't make sense.
Well, I'm assuming they needed Cram to open up to do what we did. So the job they've hired you to do, they don't need him for anymore. Unless he's in some way integral to stopping the other devices.
I think at this point they know that he's important, regardless of what he offers to the shrines or whatever they are. But separating him from you all, from us, would be a pretty bad blow.
Yeah, we can't afford to lose anyone else. This is hard enough. Yeah. We may all be a bunch of idiots, but we do need to rely on each other. And I'm outside of my depth in places like this. The experience I have in the wild, really, when I met Diablo and Renadis, I don't know what to do with this. I couldn't set up a tent without somebody's help sometimes.
You know, I was doing, feel like I was doing fine when I was relying on nobody but myself. Relying on people always adds a unnecessary twists and turns. Makes you second guess yourself.
That's true in moments. I mean, it's certainly easier to infiltrate a manor without somebody there to do something stupid, awaken a god or do something like that. It's easier to pick somebody's pocket. But when you're lying on the ground, bleeding out with a monster above you, you can't afford to be alone. You need people if you're going to make it through this.
I don't know.
He must
feel
have
like-
big.
You know, if you're lying there bleeding out because of some monster, maybe that means it's time for you to go and other people don't have to help you pay the price for it.
That's really stupid. I'm sorry. I'm not calling you stupid. I'm just saying. Life is the one thing that you have that is always yours, and you need to be willing to fight for it. It's why people build cities where they congregate. We function and survive together, Azad. I don't know what you faced before, but you seem to care, despite everything. You care about the death of those children. You care enough to spare Naoki's life, even though, by all rights, you should have followed your orders from your boss and killed him, right?
I think maybe your stupid's rubbing off on me.
Well, if your stupid is morality, you're not getting it from me. I think the only one of us with a good moral center is really Renatus. And if he's sharing it with you, he's not doing it verbally.
You sure he's got morality in there? You sure it isn't like straw or some bullshit?
I know he's got like kind of rotten guts inside his blood, and yeah. Honestly, I think Emmeline would like to open him up someday and see what's inside, but you know, I don't really know what she would do, honestly, if he let her. Is this camp safe, secure enough if we get in the middle of a thunderstorm?
I don't know.
Okay. Well. I don't even know how we keep going on at this point. We never really seem to know where we're going, what we're doing. But, my god, we have to get the Drellworm so we can pull off that heist. Because that sounds so brilliant.
Yeah, we don't have a choice anymore.
I don't even care if it's a choice. It sounds so fun.
It begins to rain. There is a crash of thunder heard in the sky that awakens the party. But it's not from lightning expanding the air rapidly, causing this sonic boom. There is something breaking through the atmosphere, a great light, green and blue in color, as it hurtles down towards the surface and crashes about 100 feet away. A wall of force and air comes hurtling towards everybody. Doesn't knock you on your feet or cause any kind of pain, but it does kick up dust in your eyes and makes you cough.
What the hell is that?
Do we check or do we wait till the morning? I think we check.
Yeah, I don't want anything, whatever that is, if it's something that's living, crawling up on us. So I think we ought to check.
Crap. Okay.
The rest of the group is awake, right?
No,
Oh,
they
yeah.
woke up the rest of the group.
Excellent. Am I able to get a visual on that?
Make a perception check with disadvantage. Because it is not because you have dark vision, it is lit in the distance. It's because you don't, it's storming. So can we
13.
get lower than a 5? It was with disadvantage, so you get a 5.
Oh, the 5. This is correct.
The
Yeah.
storm seems to be kicking up a lot of sand. It's starting to like flood a little bit because it's not quite as porous as we would like it to be. But you do see this, it's very obvious, kind of flickering bluish green light in the distance.
Okay. If everybody's up, let's go take a look and
I don't think I should get too close. I
No.
don't want it to.
Renatus lead the way.
Can we try to sneak up on it? Super stealthy like.
You can try.
We can try. Renatus, stay behind.
Yeah, if we're sneaking up, Rosado will head the group unless there's any objections.
No objections. Sneak, sneak, sneak.
5,
Oh.
5, 12, 25.
24, 25. Oh, yeah.
That's a 24. I don't know
24.
what.
20.
20. Dirty 20.
Overall, you guys are like an average of like 10-ish. So
Make that 9.
oh wait, I read the 5 as one. So 2 5s in a row. So 5, 12, 24, 20, 10. So not terribly low. So you begin to, what you believe very sneakily, get closer to this impact site for wherever crashed down. And there's a crater about 50 feet across in diameter with a single flickering light in the middle. There appears to be something within the flame, still burning away.
Oh, that's fire. I'm not going near that. Have fun, Renatus.
Renatus, take the lead.
Rosado pushes closer.
You see that within the flame is a single mask made of jade, it appears.
Valerie,
You
you're first
say,
as well.
The mask is smoking.
How close to
Alrighty
get?
then.
I'm gonna like try to use my sword to like kind of pick it up.
Upon it being touched, it begins to float up into the air, and a voice emanates from it. The veil is torn, to the comet forewarn. From beyond the fold, the monsters of legends told. Gods come, gods fall. The comet brings the end of all. Death shall leave her sacred throne. Mortals become dust and bone. Cosmic beings of tremendous terror return from a single error. Gods come, gods fall. The comet brings the end of all. It then shatters.
Fuck was that?
You have that written down because I couldn't type as fast as you could say it. This collectively, two of us tried. That sounds like a prophecy from on high.
Think about what I was describing. It's talking about what memorials.
Or
and
something.
things.
I know we've talked about this a few times in passing. They mentioned a veil being torn and gods coming and falling and all that. Aren't gods like separated from us
by the god of barriers, but the veil doesn't necessarily mean what we think it means.
I'm just saying, you mentioned a veil being torn or something like that, and God's coming.
Well, there was that creature in Rubanel underneath the city. It slipped through the veil. I don't think we're talking about primordials or gods. I think we're talking about something that is bigger. Valerie will try to pick. Is there like any of the jade left, or did it just like turn ash?
It's gone.
Yeah.
And that was the only thing that crashed, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Valerie's gonna like see if there's even like a shard of the jade left, but it's just disintegrated now.
It appears so.
Okay.
Can I think on this? Which god or goddess's precious gemstone would be jade?
Make a religion check.
Who would that be connected to? Okay. Religion check. An 11.
You can't recall any particular god that has like jade as a sacred stone. In fact, there's no teaching that you recall where jade shows is like a jade mask or anything of that sort is particularly notable.
Oh. And death is one of the, not that we know this, but it's one of the beings of order, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which Valerie doesn't know. Maybe. Do you want me to do a religion check on this one as well, or no? Like, no,
Make a history check for that one.
History check. And it's histoire 20, dirty 20.
With a 20, there is no recollection that you have the beings of order.
Because she was never taught about them because they're secret.
It's not that they're secret, it's that they're not.
Taught.
No.
Are they like lost media?
The only, so out of character, the only people who really know about the beings of order are the seekers. They're higher ranked allies such as Laura Minorialis, and then the chiefs of the druid tribes relating to Aspen and his and Astra and their ancestors, because that's who they follow the teachings of.
So death would that be your goddess, sister Renatus? Death shall leave her sacred throne? I don't know if I
thought- Correct me if I'm wrong, Renatus. I thought your goddesses had more to do with the burial process.
Is there a goddess of death?
I mean, we've met the queen of the hells. In some form or fashion. Is there a god of death that I would know about from the books I've read on necromancy? I don't think so. But
There is a goddess of death. Ielna is specifically the goddess that presides over death and burials. While Grovtrea is the goddess of graves and myths.
okay.
There's also a prince that resides over the undead, but you don't know his name or her name.
I think we should sit on this.
Yeah, and maybe go back to sleep. Let's stop standing.
For simplicity reasons, this will not interrupt your long rest.
Because we didn't do anything extraordinarily active, so she's gonna have some bags under your eyes in the morning.
And it is time for the second watch to take over.
Okay,
As
I
the
assume
storm begins to break up.
we're gonna go back to our camp and not sleep in a crater.
I would hope not.
We'll say that.
Yeah. Okay.
Naoki and Renatus. It is your watch.
Are you awake, Renatus?
I guess by your definition of awake, then yes.
Okay. That's good to know. I know this is probably not going to be a very exciting watch, but let me try to concentrate, see if I can tap back into my spells and maybe try to get a spell for poison to maybe cure Emmeline.
She's already passed the poison there, babes.
Might be residual effects.
Yeah.
Naoki just kind of like pokes the ground with like a stick that he found, just drawing like a smiley face, just passing the time because Renatus doesn't talk.
Anything? Anything to say? And with that, it is
Yeah.
time for Emmeline to take her watch.
Anything exciting happen, Naoki?
I drew a little picture right here. He shows a picture of just a flower in the sand.
That's wonderful. You should get some rest.
Sure.
Sweet dream. So I got a pat him on the head and then walk over. Did we light a fire? In camp? Anyone? I don't-
We didn't start the fire. It was always
Cool.
burning since the world was turning.
All right,
God
all
No
right, all right, all right. You're gonna take 4 points of
Yep.
psychic damage,
damn.
We didn't start the fire.
and I'm being handed a notice. We're being sued.
Hooray!
That's great.
Good night, everyone.
So since there's no fire to take care of, she'll kind of keep an eye out on the horizon. But she's also going to keep an eye out for some snakes. Renatus, let me know if you see another one of those snakes.
Can I get a perception check from Renatus, please?
Are you sure that's very wise considering how it ended last time?
It would not be wise if I were to grab it with my hand again. I think I have a couple different options for revenge.
Swear if it's like one of those little grabby hand things. Be like, don't worry, I got it this time. All right. You said perception check?
Yes.
30-20.
Okay. Noted.
All right.
See anything yet?
Nothing yet.
Emma's just going to be kind of like circling the camp. Hmm. Do you have any rocks?
We're outside. There are rocks everywhere.
I didn't know if you carried any special rocks or anything.
No. I have no particular need to carry rocks with me.
You know, a rock blessed by a goddess weighs more than another rock of the same size. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
because I don't think it's real. I made that up. Chill, Mage Hand,
So
and
stupid.
light a cigarette. Thanks for being a good sport and not stealing anything from my house. I presume you didn't.
I have no need to steal. My goddesses have given me everything that I need.
Okay. Sure. What exactly would all of it? Michael.
Sorry.
It's for
What
Jesus.
exactly?
Do you have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior?
Jesus Christ.
Yes, him.
When you
Let's talk
say
about my ladies and saviors.
my
Ladies and
Lord and ladies.
During this Pride Month, you should really be worshiping the two goddesses.
Continue
in
on,
regards to what you need, what exactly would that be? What have they provided you that you couldn't just gain yourself?
Well, they provided me a new life. Obviously. All I know about is I was once dead and they brought me back to serve as their champion.
Mhm.
They bestowed upon me magic and my sword.
Okay, what's your favorite sport?
I've never thought about it.
I could tell. All you ever really think about is your goddesses. And, no hate. I think it's admirable that you put the work in regards to that. But, the goddesses, when they do receive you, finally, for the final time, whenever that may be, they might want someone a little more well-rounded. So we might be able to talk about cricket or longboard,
I would assume that
You've played
when
that
my
game, right?
goddesses call
Longboard?
me back. Do what?
You've played longboard?
I can't say that I have.
It is so easy. You just take a board, and someone takes a rock, and they throw it at you, and you hit it with the board. I've seen some crazy stuff happen. I think you'd be great.
Perhaps one day.
Yeah.
But I would
Mm.
assume that when my goddesses call me back to their side, that my mission is complete and thus I will have no reason to exist anymore.
They won't keep you around, like as a subject or something.
I mean, if my mission is done, then what more am I? Then just an empty husk that they brought back.
You already had my first suggestion. Professional longboard player.
I'll keep that in mind.
And soon enough, the sun begins to rise.
I would like to wake Valerie up first. Just light shakes.
Is everything okay? Did we get attacked by an old lady?
No old ladies, except for me.
Wait, are you older than you look? I
It's a
don't
joke.
date anyone over 23.
Oh.
I'm kidding. Oh, sorry. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. And then Naoki,
Did we take a long rest? Just
You can mark your
Did we-
character sheets for a long rest. Yes.
thank you. Okay.
yeah, I'd like my mage hand to poke Naoki awake while Valerie and I are talking.
Yeah. Tickle his
Tickle my what?
Don't worry about it. Fine.
Here to explain.
His weenus.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think I had to say it.
Let's just say the peanuts.
So,
Because it's
as you guys are all waking up from your long rest, you see off in the distance a large lizard walking towards all of you.
like a lizard
Komodo
lizard?
dragon?
Like a bearded dragon.
Is it big?
What
It
kind
is
of beard
the
is
size
it?
of a horse.
We're squaring up.
Oh,
I'm squaring
wow.
up.
But
Is there
there's
anybody
someone
riding it?
on top of it.
Yeah. Lizard mount.
He wears a brown cloak with a hood pulled up that kind of obscures his face as he approaches closer to you. He himself has like the lower half of his face is like reptilian with orange, brown, and yellow kind of like scale splotches from here up, but you can't see anywhere above his nose.
What's your deal, stranger?
I simply saw people off in the distance, and I thought to make sure that you were all right out here in the wilderness.
We're all right. Are you all right?
I am quite well, friend. Well met. From where do you all hail?
It depends on the weather.
I'm Emmeline. It's nice to meet you.
Valerie.
What's your name?
I go by many names.
What's your
Okay, Miss-
favorite?
Ooh,
Ronaldo.
cryptic.
Ronaldo. That's a good name. Feel like you could sing that.
He pulls down his hood, revealing spiked horns coming almost like a crown coming out from his forehead. Green slit eyes that contrasts greatly with his brown and orange scales. It is not often that I see people out here in the Badlands. Tell me, do you know where the city of Northeast may be?
What's to you?
I simply am looking for a place of trade.
What you got to trade?
That is my business and my business alone.
I could say that the location of Naltese is my business as well. Let's be an open book here.
Well, you do not have to answer. I shall find it soon enough.
I could tell you where it is if you could tell us where you saw a worm last.
A worm, specifically, not like an earthworm.
No, like
so you
the big.
are worm hunters.
Today?
No.
Not yet.
That's-
I'm curious about their reproductive systems before we take any kind of action. But that's a lot of yapping. We'd love to find it.
You can find a nest about 400 yards that direction. There is a cave about 10 feet in diameter that leads down into one.
Excellent. Thank you. The city, it's southwest, more west than south. I couldn't tell you how far.
Valerie
But-
pulls the map out and points out where they last was. So it was around. It was here. This is where we started yesterday evening. So gives you a little bit of help.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for your time, and perhaps I shall see you in Althes if you wish to procure any. Shall we say my trade revolves around herbalism and alchemy.
Oh. Well, we have a friend
Exciting.
who is currently in Northeast who would probably be very interested in your wares. So when we return to pick him up, we'll certainly make sure we seek you out there.
Very well. I wish you all luck. It's a beautiful morning to die.
Yes. It's always a beautiful morning to die. Uses prestidigitation to clean all the dirt and muck off herself right in front of him.
And I must say, I must give you this. He hands you a small little token. It's like a wooden coin. Inside is not inside, but carved into it is a claw mark, a 3-pronged claw going diagonally down.
Oh. Of course. Does Valerie recognize this mark by
Make
any
a
chance?
religion
Is it
check.
a religion check, sure.
What the fuck?
I
The
just think it's a
cute
cool
little
looking coin.
trinket.
Yeah.
Dirty 20. It's a lot of dirty 20s today.
This is not a where you're from. This god is not followed in a very large capacity, but this appears to be the symbol of the symbol of Hydro, the god of ambition and transformation.
Cool.
Okay,
She's
glad it
aware
was.
of.
I'm glad it was for Kydro and not actually 3 Claw, because I was like, what the fuck? They became a religion? What the hell?
Maybe 3-Claw became the religion of Kydro.
A
all you know.
3-pronged claw being dragged down.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. Like, is he like secretly like from the
like they're still
Eastern 3-Claw
around?
expansion?
And they
Well, we
became a
didn't-
church?
We didn't kill them. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
True.
church and criminals. Who knew?
From what I
I'm not
know
like-
about from what I know about religion, lesser followed gods like Hydro, would that be something you see more of out here in this wasteland and then further out east
So
once
going
you
off of
start heading
Valerie's
east?
track, the god Hydro is said to become he was able to become a dragon and from there became a god. He's mostly followed in the kingdom of Drailworm. This seems where he has a lot of influence. But he also has followers out where you're from and Merdwin, because that's said where he ascended.
Gotcha. Just curious.
Just a reminder that this is not like people don't follow one god in particular. They more so pray to the god for what they need in life. There are priests or priestesses that dedicate their lives to one god. They also work at the temples and that sort of thing. But for the most part, people pray to the god that they need something from. So if you're traveling, you're going to pray to Caius, the god of travelers, for his protection. That sort of thing.
So those who are ambitious would pray for Kydro to help feed their ambition,
Which makes
Mhm.
a lot of sense.
Hmm.
Very
or if they want to transform.
Wow.
Make Hydro feed your ambitions.
I hope you return. You seem like interesting people.
That is probably the most apt descriptor for this group that I've ever heard. Best of luck.
He kicks the sides of his little lizard friend and off they go.
So, like, people don't just ride, like, schnoggles, they ride lizards, too?
Yeah.
That's really neat.
So
Is the lizard faster? Is the lizard faster than the Schnoggle?
Schnoggles are better for climbing and being beasts of burden. The large bearded dragons are good for their speed on the sand.
So they're like Rolling Stones.
Can I pass my curse on to Renatus?
Worth it. You know what? I'll take the roll for this one. It was fucking worth it.
Anyway,
Do it. If I push it too far, it's gonna hurt me. Okay, well, we have some to set off, so let's do this.
And if it's possible, I don't have any idea. I would love to get an egg. I wonder how big they are.
And are they edible?
Maybe 2 then, because I want to try and see if I can hatch them.
I mean, it's a worm. Would it not be some sort of like, you know? I mean, it gets
y'all
to
are
be-
really gonna make me look up the evolutionary stages of fucking worms, so you
Absolutely.
can see if you can hatch
Well,
one?
yeah.
I'll look it up for you. Don't worry, King, I got
we
you.
We want to have a pet worm,
Yeah.
and we want to see if we can cook worm eggs for lunch. I guess we eat something and then go.
Michael, as our
Locally.
DM, would you still love us as players if we were worms?
Do you specifically still have a hole?
What on each end?
It's like a straw. It's like a living straw.
Covering up her mouth.
I need to know. Okay, I have a quick question. We're searching for purple worms, right?
Yeah,
Okay, we need to avoid. This is out of character.
we already know.
Then no.
No,
Oh!
just don't.
Guys, you don't know what's coming.
Oh,
You
I
don't know what's coming.
We know what's coming, some of us, but we don't know what's coming because we live in an entirely new world where the
You're right.
monster can have a completely different stat block.
Out of character. I didn't even know this was possible. So I'm kind of tweaking out, but we're going to see what happens. I'm so
Yeah.
excited to go find these eggs in this cave for you guys and raise one of these worms. Yay,
It'll be a fun pet.
right?
Yeah.
Do they get attached?
Oh, well, I mean, when it gets to be too big, we'll just throw it in the sewers and it'll be fine.
No, they don't. They don't really come attached. That you're thinking more leeches than worms.
So we're walking.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Any
Does any of
Ryan?
us, does Valerie know anything about purple worms from her past reading? Because I'm assuming she's probably heard of poison, not knowing what it is.
Make a nature check.
Yeah. It's a 15.
You know that worms, purple worms specifically, are very, very large creatures. They can swallow entire caravans if they wanted to, and it's mainly the reason why people don't travel into the wasteland.
The wasteland.
The Zaraxan wasteland is because the worms here make it that dangerous, and it's why Nalthis is the safest place to be, because they're not going to mess with the dragon turtle because they can't swallow it.
So, just thinking about some of my and does she knows their poison is extraordinarily poisonous? I
Right.
presume from
The
a professional perspective.
the purple tears is what they're known as in the city that you're from. The
Okay.
poison droplets.
So they're very large, and the poison actually we'd actually you can purchase it. They call it the purple tears. It's one of the more deadly toxins. I think I might have actually had to use it once before. I mean, I didn't get to stay to see what the effects were like for the person, but
Well, here's something fascinating. We could build on that if we do get an egg. We could harvest the poison from it. Like the baby.
So like milk a worm for its poison. Okay.
Well, don't they
It-
do that with certain snakes? Certain medical practices.
I mean, I don't spend that much time thinking about how I get poisons. I just think about, better to use it than to take it.
I have an idea. So
Okay.
we'll be good then.
So do we have to crawl
What-
inside of the worm to get the poison out then? It sounds like they're pretty big. Like there's a reason people don't travel here. I mean, do we want to try to collapse the cavern on top of the worm to try to kill it and try to extract its poison?
Isn't it a nest? So it'd be like multiple, wouldn't it?
I hope not.
I don't know if collapsing it would kill them if they burrow.
Well, I think anytime some. Sorry, Renatus.
Wouldn't it just be able to eat its way out again?
I assume.
It eats dirt.
And it might
I mean-
kill the eggs.
Does anybody have a passive perception that is above 15?
Not me.
Yep. Rosette has a passive perception of 17.
Wow.
Perfect.
All right, so Rosette, I'm still going off the marching order from the pre-long rest. Rosette, as they're like having this discussion, you're walking towards the direction of the cave or the nest. You feel a tremor in the ground behind you.
He looks back.
And you look back just in time for Emmeline to start to get swallowed by a worm emerging from the ground. And that is
Hello?
where we're going to take our mid-session break, everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, we'll be back here in about 15 minutes after we refresh ourselves and, you know, get ourselves drinks, that sort of thing. And if you're just now joining us,
If you're just now joining us, we're at such a big dramatic moment as we're going to see Emmeline die for the first time, being consumed by a purple worm. But if you want to learn how that happened, you're about halfway through the session, and you can pick up the parts of the session you missed when we reload our live plays up on YouTube. That's every Monday. But you just want to hear our lovely voices, you can find us on podcast networks that do podcasty things. And feel free to get ahead and watch us from the start. We do this every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern time, so you can watch our lovely voices make this story happen and find out how at that point that she almost died. And you can also watch us do other things. Right now we're doing a Minecraft server.
Yeah.
everybody, we'll
That's
be back
it.
here momentarily. And we'll see you real soon. Bye for now. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back.
So,
back.
we are here on
Initiative.
Initiative. We have already rolled initiative to save time here on the stream. We have Rosette with an 18, the Worm with a 15, Valerie with a 10, Emmeline with a 4, Naoki with a 4, and Renatus with a 3. So great initiative rolls overall, team. You did great.
Someone's got to bring up the rear.
Let's go ahead and get into it. Yeah. Oh my God.
I think we're okay. So we're just going to say that we win the fight. Everyone's alive. It has a couple wish spell scrolls inside. No. Okay. I tried.
Worm go.
So, Emmeline, you are currently swallowed by the creature. You have the restrained condition. Sorry. I need a strength saving throw from you, please. Before it can swallow you.
Okay. Is there anything I can do to
So you get a 0 on your strength saving throw, a natural 1 -1. All right. So this is the condition of you being swallowed. You are considered grappled. You are blinded and restrained. You have total cover against attacks outside of the worm. You will take 5d6 acid damage at the start of each of the worm's turns.
It was 50-50. Either you got swallowed or you didn't.
And there's some stuff that you can try to do to escape, but we'll get there when we get there.
Okay.
With that, let's go ahead and start combat. We have Rosette up first. Valeria in the hole.
All right, Rosad, he seeing this shit show, he immediately pulls out his daggers and he's gonna take a nice steady aim here and attack.
You do that.
That is a natural 20.
A natural 20 starting off strong. Go ahead and roll that damage.
Oh yeah!
Woohoo! All right. Crit damage. All right. So, and then
Holy crap.
do I have to roll the damage and the crit damage? Am I tripping? Or no, it's a D6. No,
rolled
it
your
already
crit damage.
did it. Yeah, it already did my crit damage.
So what's the total? You have, is that including your
It's
sneak attack?
Yeah, that is. It's 41 points of psychic
41
damage.
points of damage. It's one of the largest hits in this campaign so far from a single attack.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean that'll be his turn for the moment because he's already used his bonus action.
All right, it is now the worm's turn. At the start of the worm's turn, Emlyn is going to take her acid damage. That is 5d6 acid damage. So let's go ahead and roll that. Emlyn's taking 19 points of acid damage at the start of this worm's turn. And now it's going to go ahead and do its attacks. It is going to make a bite attack against Valerie.
Okay. That's fine.
It does have a reach of 10 feet.
Yep.
So Valerie does a 29 hit.
Nope. Obviously.
Well, you gotta ask the question because it gives the other players a chance to react.
But by a lot.
Yeah. Okay, so you're gonna take some damage.
Mm-hmm.
Let me turn that down a little bit. Because calm down, Midnight Syndicate. We get it. You rock. All right, you're gonna take 18 points of piercing damage as this creature bites down on your upper torso. It's then gonna use its bonus action to try to swallow you. You need to make a strength saving throw, please. We know that you are very strong.
I purposely failed.
You purposely fail.
Yeah,
All right.
I failed.
And then it's going to
Valor.
make its stinger attack against Naoki with its reach of 10. It's going to move. It's going to move and then make its stinger attack with its reach of 10 feet against Naoki. Naoki does a 31 hit.
You know the answer.
Okay. We're going to start off with 16 points of piercing damage. And 31 points of poison damage.
How much was that again?
Plus 16 points of piercing damage, 47 total. Unless you have
Okay.
resistance to poison.
No.
All right. Naoki just drops down to a very low amount of health. And with that is now Valerie's turn from inside the worm. Take it away.
Okay.
Emily's on
Is
deck.
Valerie in contact with Emlyn by any chance? Is she like swallowed to the same port? Like they're nearby?
You're also
kind of
you're
thing?
nearby. But you
Okay,
are
well,
restrained.
All she needs to do
blinded.
is make physical contact with Emlyn if she can.
If you want, I'll let you put this up to a coin toss. Roll a d2. 1, you succeed. 2, you fail. But you are blinded, so you're reaching out for Emmeline.
How do I roll 1d2?
Just slash R space D2. You can do D
1d2.
whatever number.
It's a 1.
So you are able to make contact with Emmeline. You reach out, you call out to her, you make contact
And
with her.
And I cast Dimension Door.
Okay, yeah.
And we both whoop out, and I'm going, I hate to say it, 500 feet.
500 feet away?
Well, I'll go 250, halfway. Just like in...
Hey, baby girl, the map ain't that big.
Yeah.
So
Well,
put
let's
yourself
just-
in one of the corners.
Yeah, well, that's what we're going to do. We're not going to go the full 500 because we'll be spending the next 7 combats getting back to you guys. But we're like up here, if that's okay.
I will, yeah. So let's just measure that. Just
For
60 feet.
the purpose of keeping us in the combat, we will be there.
Okay. Okay.
And the further it is, the harder it is for her to figure it out. So this is an area they were at least somewhat familiar with. So yeah, 4th level spell. They're both out of danger. Yeah, and gonna give Emmeline Bardic Inspiration.
That was amazing.
Yeah, I let it swallow me. I will never do that again. That's
Agreed.
my turn.
All right. So with that, it is now Emmeline's turn with Naoki on deck.
So sorry, are we still 250 feet away?
No, we're like literally
60
just up
feet.
here.
You're
'cause-
60 feet away.
Wait, just
Yeah.
clarifying.
Yeah, it was just like, yeah, that's like the other one is like, GG guys, y'all die. We're gonna survive. We'll form the new party without you if I go.
As long as I know how to love, I know I'll stay alive. Go ahead.
In that case, we're gonna go ahead, step right up to the edge after dusting ourselves off, and we're going to fireball it.
So it needs to make a deck save, is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
That is
Yes.
a 2.
Okay, it fails, so it will take all 27 fire damage.
27 points of fire damage. As this fireball explodes on the side of this creature, the smell of burnt flesh fills the air as its entire side is seared severely. All right.
And then after that, I'll just slowly kind of fall backwards, and that'll be my turn.
All right, Naoki, it's now your turn. Renatus on deck.
Naoki like stumbles up, like barely holding on after just absolutely getting eviscerated, and looks up to the sky and uses Call Lightning. And it's like let's see. It is a Dex 14 saving throw.
Okay. Creature's not very dexterous. That is a 13.
Awesome. He takes full damage.
Which is
18.
18 points of lightning damage as this cloud forms in the sky above the worm, comes crashing down with crackling energy. 18 points of damage on the worm. Anything else for your turn?
That's all.
I believe it's Renatus' turn. Was that on deck?
That's me. Okay. First things first, I'm going to use Form of Dread on myself, giving me some temp HP. It's gonna be a whole 5. Anyway. Okay, so I got that. And then I am going to cast Shadowblade and get up all in this thing and try to like hack at it.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Well, highest I can cast at a 2nd level anyway. 16.
16 will miss.
Well, shit. That's all I got.
All right, it is now Rosad's turn. Valerie's in the hole.
Right. Rosad will make a silly little attack at the thingy mabobber again. Which I will roll here. That's a 24
24 will hit.
for 26 points of psychic damage.
All right, so this blade of psychic energy comes lashing out at the creature. It begins to bleed from its orifices.
All right, now Rosad, using the Vex property, will give himself advantage on his next attack, which will be an offhand psychic blade attack. It's a 22 to hit.
22 will hit.
Or, not 16. That's 2 points of psychic damage.
All right.
And that will be his turn.
All right, it's now the worm's turn. The worm is going to leap up. Not leap up, but turn its body and come crashing down towards Renatus. As it does so, it's going to continue to burrow. That is going to be to bite Renatus, 24 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
All right. And then that is going to be 22 points of piercing damage. And I need you to make a strength saving throw, please.
All right, 1 second. That. All right. Strength saving throw. Did I roll? I didn't hear anything. That's a 5.
5. You are now considered swallowed. And the worm is going to burrow its full burrow speed of 25 feet.
That mean it's completely disappeared?
It is beneath the surface. But it's leaving a 10-foot wide tunnel in its wake.
Hmm.
So I'm not going to remove it from the map because it just went 25 feet down.
I already used my Hail Mary there, Renatus.
Well,
All right, it is now Valerie's turn with Emlyn on deck.
So Valerie will go up to the edge here. Can she, from this height, can she even see the worm at all? Sorry, I'm going to not move Emlyn. That'll be Valerie. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I'll say you specifically can just see the worm unless you're, so anybody else has to stand at the edge and look down.
Okay.
You can see it from the angle that you have.
So here's the question. How high up am I?
We'll say 40 feet.
40 feet. So I cannot possibly hit this with this attack.
It's a really high tunnel. I mean, cliff edge.
It is a high cliff edge,
Well,
yeah.
you know what? Let me reevaluate that because
Does it see?
you're we'll say you're 20 feet. I'm gonna cut that in half.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna try this anyways. Can I drop a hypnotic pattern on its face? Like
Its
on its
face
head?
is not facing. Its
Yeah,
face is pointing down.
Yeah, so I can't drop it there. Okay. There's not really much I can do outside of just healing Naoki. So if I go, yeah. She's gonna go to Naoki saying, Naoki, do something big here. You can do it. And I'll do a 2nd level healing word on Naoki. Because he is still crit.
Okay.
And yeah, we'll leave it at that. No real point in using bonus action because I can't inspire Renatus if I can't see him. So yeah, I'll roll that in a second. It's just being weird.
Okay.
And then yeah, that's my turn.
All right. It is now Emmeline's turn. Naoki's on deck.
13.
Yeah, we're gonna try something new. We're going to come up to this cliff edge right next to Valerie. And I would like to summon next to Naoki a spirit of death.
What?
What the hell is
It's
that?
a 4th level necromancy spell. I can send
This is
you
new
like a link.
spell, I feel like.
I'm gonna look this up.
I'm looking it up right now.
Definitely take a look because I'm gonna need some help a little bit with this.
Using
Not
a-
too much.
Using a spell you don't know how to use. Everybody say shame. Shame. Okay.
I must practice.
Hold on. I'm trying to find the. Oh, this is. It would help if I could find.
It's in the
actual
Book of Many
spell.
Things.
I'm in the. Oh, it's in the book of many things, not in the.
Yeah. It's from the Book of Many Things.
Oh, okay. What do you want? Tell me the spell.
Okay. It summons a spirit that embodies death. And then it has a bunch of stat blocks. It has the Reaper Spirit stat block if you want that. But I'm just gonna summon that next to Naoki, and it has the initiative right after mine. And it lasts for an hour. Hmm.
What is that?
Is that the Grim Reaper?
Girl, didn't you hear? That's a spirit of death.
Came off her throne.
You did
Oh,
it.
it's
You
him.
solved the prophecy.
Is it come in the shape of a creepy little girl?
No. All right.
Okay.
It's now the spirit of death's turn.
Okay, the Spirit of Death is going to make a multi-attack, only 2 attacks, and I will roll for those attacks right now.
Is that the damage or
Ding.
the attack?
That should be to hit. Actually, let me check.
So it would be a D20 plus the modifier.
Okay. And my modifier, I believe, is 6.
Great. So do you want to roll a D20?
It's whatever your spell attack is.
An 18.
18 will just hit.
Okay. Okay. So now I'll do the damage. Bada bing, bada boom. For that one. And then the next hit would be 25 to hit.
25 will hit. So that's 14 points of damage for the first attack.
What kind of damage is it? Is it necrotic?
It should be necrotic. Let me double check on that.
Yes. This creature
Yes.
isn't resistant to any types of damage, so it's fine.
And then that's 12 more. So in total, 26 damage, necrotic damage to the worm. Bam, bam. This thing slices it up. And as a bonus action, I would like for it to haunt this worm. That just
Okay.
basically so has a bunch of different shit in it. But the spirit can sense the direction and distance of the target if it's on the same plane of existence. And if the target starts to turn within 10 feet of the spirit, the target, aka the worm, must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be frightened.
Okay. Naoki.
So I'm peering into this hole. Can I see its ass?
Yes.
All right, so he's going to peer into this hole and just point down, and his thunderstorm is going to strike another 18 damage onto this thing.
What's the deck save?
It's 14.
I got a 15.
So now you take 9.
This creature's looking bloodied.
That's his turn.
Renata, so you're currently considered grappled, restrained, and blinded.
Okay.
Take damage
No.
on its turn, so.
You can only get disadvantaged so many times before it stops mattering.
I got a feeling I know what's about to happen, but you know.
You get a feeling.
I can't actually do anything.
You try to attack it from the inside.
I mean, I would have to be able to be not grappled. Oh wait, never
Yeah,
mind.
You can attack while
Yeah.
grappled.
Your attacks are just your attacks with disadvantage?
When you're
Restrained.
restrained, yes.
Restrained, yeah.
Yeah, do you have to see your echo to swap places with it?
I have to see where the echo's going to go.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Darn.
Okay, well, since I already took damage, that means my Shadow Blade is gone. But I am going to bonus action summon my longsword, and I'm gonna try to stab at it from the inside. I guess one-handed, since
You can attack two-handed. There's nothing that
Yeah.
says you can't.
Yeah, just
fair enough.
you're wrenching the sword through its guts with two hands. 23,
23.
10.
I also never use my inspiration.
That's a total of what? Oh wait, is it disadvantage?
That was just for the attack roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can use your inspo, right?
Yes. What's the die for? What do I add to it? For inspiration, I never used it yet.
For the DM inspiration, it's
Yeah.
or we just
You
do
just
another
roll again.
D20 roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, just do another attack.
Huh.
Natural 19 would hit by a lot.
Yeah. But does the inspiration roll negate the
It's just
disadvantage?
one extra roll.
Oh.
Hmm.
Well, so it's still a 10 then.
Even if so no, you get the 19.
Yay! Okay,
So you
cool.
rolled
Take
a
that.
27.
You get to re-roll one roll is what the inspiration does. So then
Oh, okay.
it became between the 23 and a 27. So you technically get the 23, which hits.
You just
Okay.
use your inspiration to refocus, and
Right. Okay.
in this moment, you're feeling like you're failing, and this moment of heroic inspiration hits you, and you actually do the thing.
That's gonna be 11.
That's
slashing
gonna
damage.
hurt. Really hurt. All
Alex.
right.
Cut from the inside.
Boink.
Okay. Well, what else do I have to lose? Let's try here.
We're live.
I was gonna say that, but I thought you were gonna hurt me.
Story arc.
Oh no. Anyway,
But you know,
I'm
also
gonna
didn't
action
get a
surge.
character that talks.
Action surge.
Let's try
Chat.
again.
He's action surging.
Yes.
So shady.
Ah, it's a 12. I know that's not gonna hit.
No,
Well,
it's-
that was a
no,
waste.
12 will not hit. No.
And that's my turn.
And it's no.
Wait.
Wait,
A 16 didn't hit on the outside, but the inside is squishier. Is that taken into account?
Unfortunately, that is not taken into account on the character sheet. It doesn't even say
Ah,
natural
okay.
armor next to the AC.
Ah.
So
Oh well.
it
That's
would
fine.
not be a Quentin's turn if there was not a weight in there. So it is now Rosad's turn.
Rosad is going to use his bonus action. No, actually, if I were, is the hole directly down, like straight down?
Straight down.
Straight down. So if I were to run over to the hole and
Nice.
jump down, would I would I fall like all the way down?
So to not make this overly complicated, we're gonna say that the surface of the worm that you would fall on would be 25 feet down.
Okay, yeah. I'm just saying, would I by before the end of my turn fall all the way down?
You fall immediately 500 feet. Up to 500
Yes.
feet. Like if when you drop on a turn, it's immediately. I think the way we did it was like for free fall, like 250 at the beginning of your turn, 250 at the end of your turn. Does that sound right? Anyway, you can fall up to 500 feet when you first start to fall. Immediately, it happens immediately because we can't really worry about like what happens across 6 seconds. Trying to split.
Should I roll anything, or do I just take the damage?
You'll take the damage.
Okay.
So
Cool.
it'll be 2d6. 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
6 points of bludgeoning damage. Let me apply that. All right. So, now that Rosad's standing on top of this thing, he's going to use his main action to attack it. It is a 26 to hit
26 will hit.
for 21 points of psychic damage.
All right.
And that will be his turn.
Okay, it is now the start of the worm's turn. At the start of the worm's turn, Quentin, you're going to take your acid damage from being digested by its juices.
I also need the worm to make
A
let me
wisdom
see
saving throw.
here. Yes,
Quentin, that is
please.
20 points of acid damage.
Reaper's gonna do spooky stuff.
Wisdom's the wisdom is for a save, it's gonna be a 7. So it is now frightened.
Oh, it didn't. Yeah, it didn't save. Sorry, I was.
It's
reading.
against your spell save, I believe. So it is now frightened. That means it cannot move closer to its source of fear. Which means it cannot move towards Naoki in order to attack or swallow him. It can't get closer. However, it is going to attack Rosad with its stinger to start off its turn. Because Rosad is currently on its ass. That is going to be a 25 to hit.
A 25 does indeed hit.
All right, so that will be... Start with the piercing damage first. 12 points of piercing damage. Plus 28 points of poison.
So that's how much total?
I believe 40.
40? Uncanny dodge. So I take 20.
All right.
Rogues, man. Rogues.
Yeah. The worm is then going to move away from the source of its fear, going laterally. That's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Rosad, you are at the bottom of the tunnel. So it's like a,
Okay.
think of it like a, you're here.
Yeah.
Worm's here. 25 feet. All right. So currently the only one who can see the worm at the moment is Renatus, because he's literally inside of it, and Rosad. Even though Renatus is technically blinded, it's just because he has worm flesh up against his eyes. Yeah? Okay, it is now Valerie's turn.
So Valerie has no idea where the worm has gone. So I'm gonna guess. I'm just gonna have to hold a Starry Wisp as an attack, and throw first level healing word at Naoki as this turn as well. So keep him in some health. And she can't see it. She's gonna move it back just a little bit, and that'll be my turn.
All right.
11 healing.
Take that.
Emmeline, it is now your turn.
For sure. Question is holding something a bonus action?
Holding
Like
an
holding
action
it, like
is an
holding
action.
action? Okay, I'm gonna hold magic missile for my action, and bonus action, I'm gonna command the Spirit of Death to return to me. And then for the Spirit of Death's turn, it will dash going out of the hole and closer to me. I will do the math. That's my turn.
All right, so it's 25 feet down.
And then he has a 30 fly speed, so 60, so 25 up. So he'll make it like
it gets to the worm.
okay. Well, he's coming up to
it's not
us up top
combined,
here.
Yeah. So what?
He's coming up here.
Oh, okay. I thought you were having to go through the tunnel.
Yeah. Nope, he's
Naoki,
coming.
it is now your turn.
And when I see the creature, the Valor's going to attack it, by the way.
Naoki not knowing where it is because I can't see its ass anymore. He's just kind of hold himself and cast Cure Wounds.
Okay.
And then just kind of after that, just hold his big old lightning storm. That's his turn.
Renatus, it is now your turn. Rosad's on deck.
Okay, well, I guess I can just try tagging this thing again.
I
From the
guess I'm gonna
inside.
try the same thing I just did.
Can you not do like a strength save to escape it, or?
Nope.
I was gonna say we're still on the ground, aren't we?
Well, that's irrelevant because that's not how the us as players, we get really caught up in the fine details of things like, does this make sense? But the game rules says, hey, this literally is too precise to make sense mechanically. So we're going to simplify it.
Ooh,
So-
18.
18 just hits. So technically, if you were to get regurgitated out of the worm, you disappear in an open space 5 feet near it.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be 7 slashing damage.
7 points of slashing damage. All right.
And that's crap, I should have done that first. Oh well. Save it for next time. Okay, that's it.
It is now Rosad's turn.
All right. Rosad will he'll attack the thing once more since he has line of sight. Which is an 11. Which, you know what? Hold on. I'm gonna use my inspiration to re-roll one of those.
Okay.
So that would be a fucking 15 instead.
15
Does that hit?
misses.
15 misses. Bummer. One second. Okay. He'll just attack with his offhand.
Okay.
It's another 15, so it misses again.
15 will miss. Yep.
And he'll run up and just keep following it.
Okay. All right, at the start of the worm's turn, Renatus, you're gonna take 20 points of acid damage as you start to see your flesh is getting dissolved. You have open sores starting to form these ulcers on your skin. It's quite painful, quite burny. Sanders. Anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and continue on with a tail attack against Rosad. Rosad does a 25 hit.
Yep.
All right, so that is going to be the 2d6 plus 9. That is 18 points of piercing damage.
Can he dodge again?
Oh, we got the poison damage.
Yep.
I'm sorry, piercing damage, and then poison is 32. So the total here is going to be 50. So that's 25 points of damage total. that you take.
All right.
The creature is going to move 5, 10, 15 right here. And reemerge.
Here we go.
I need a bite attack.
And our held attacks would go off.
Yes. So go ahead and
I get an attack of opportunity as well.
you do.
Dex 14
Valerie.
saving throw.
Valerie misses.
You need a dex saving throw. Okay, so let me go ahead and roll that. I
I
already rolled my
also need
attack
a
roll.
saving throw.
Can y'all chill for just a motherfucking second? Thank you.
Sorry.
It is a 17 for the dex save for Naoki.
That's 12 points of damage against
12
it.
points of damage. All right.
Does it
and-
deter it any?
That's not how the spell works. It would have to move on its turn and like make a decision as a beast would. It's already used all of its movement to get to you and try to bite you. Which I already rolled that attack roll, and we're gonna get to that in a second. And then what was the attack roll for your 25 hits, 11 misses for the Starry Wisp, and then a dex save for the Fireball. 6 for the Fireball. That is 16 points of damage. All right.
20 points of psychic damage as well.
Not quite enough to bring it down. The roll I made on the attack roll for the bite as it's coming up is a natural 20.
No.
I need a strength saving throw from Naoki.
You can do it.
And I'm going to go ahead and roll the bite.
That's a
damage.
4.
Really?
You can't do it.
Seriously?
You can't do it. I'm sorry.
Y'all are
In
mean.
fact, yeah.
hold
Well,
on. Hold on. That is good.
We got you.
Naoki is going to take 26 points of piercing damage as these purple jaws come shooting up out of the ground. Rocks shatter. Naoki begins to lose his footing. As he starts to fall back into the jaws of this creature, he calls down the lightning as a fireball goes off. And then the psychic blade goes into the worm's ass, but he can't see that. And then the jaws shut around him. Darkness. Okay.
Cool.
Valerie, it is now your turn. As the worm has
So
begun
that-
to crown.
Valerie. Okay. Valerie's gonna just go right to there, and she's gonna drop a shatter on it. So it needs to do a saving throw, Constitution saving throw,
Okay.
please. DC 16.
It fails.
So it takes 29 damage there. 29 thunder damage. This is booming clap. That's probably like one of the biggest shatters I could possibly roll. So
All right, so Naoki, your vision goes dark. You hear
I
this
did that.
thunderous boom. Valerie, how do you want to do this?
it's gonna smash the front of it open, just like burst. This thunderclap is gonna go in its mouth and just like rip it open. Just like
All right.
flinging fangs and flesh as it's, all the damage is taken. It's just vulnerable and cracked open.
All right, so light begins to pour into your vision, Renatus and Naoki, as this creature starts to let out a shriek, but it's cut short from gurgling as its head is split open and it falls down to the ground with a large boom that echoes around you. Dust kicks up. Blood is pouring out onto the surface. And that will end combat.
What happened?
Everybody got swallowed. It was gross and dark. And it
Renatus.
smells bad. You two get out of there. You're going to melt.
I'm at the beginning of the mouth. He's at the ass end of the creature.
He's gonna Ace Ventura it.
So is the hole that the worm bored rough enough for Rosad to climb out on his
Sure.
own? Okay.
It's gonna take you a couple seconds, but yeah.
I guess Valerie and Emmeline will try to crawl down the cliff face.
Oh, we can just here, come here.
Do you just
Emmeline
want us
will,
to
like,
jump?
Yeah, and we'll
Okay.
just take Valerie's hand. They'll jump, feather fall, boom,
Huh.
land on the bottom. Easy peasy.
It was nice going down with you.
Why would you land on Naoki like that?
I didn't.
No.
Well, I thought it was my bad.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess we'll come and like help them crawl out of the guts
Okay.
and press a dictation on them to wipe off the acid and the gore and
Never been eaten by a worm before. That was new.
yeah.
You are severely injured.
Rosad. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Rosad realizes the funny thing and then climbs down back to the hole and then to the stinger end of the worm.
To get the poison.
Yeah, to get the poison.
Does he grab some eggs while he's there?
Is
Does
it
it have
pregnant?
eggs, Michael?
Can I actually look around? Like, is there a way that I can look into this thing? Like through the open head? Do I need to
So
cut it open?
If you go, I will say, if you go into this creature, you may risk acid damage.
Mhm.
But I had the feeling that that's not a deterrent. You're gonna do it anyway. So do what you want, Queen.
You have been burned already.
I have been burned.
You know, when you stick a fork into a power socket the first
Can-
time, that's one
I
thing.
got you,
Can
Diva.
I get a survival check from Rosad, please, as you are trying to work on cutting away the venom sac of this worm?
Just a survival.
Yep.
Oh, it's a 19.
19. So you efficiently cut away this venom sac with the stinger intact from the purple worm. It's about the size of, we'll say, a
Bagpipe?
what?
A bagpipe?
No, I'm trying to think of like a large egg shape. I don't know.
An
I'm
ostrich?
blanking.
Ostrich
like-
egg?
It's like the size of my Pikachu.
Oh god, that's big even for an egg. It's like a
Like a
Tyrannosaurus egg.
like Humpty Dumpty kind of thing. So like,
Hmm.
it's like this. So like, imagine this is the stinger, and like, boom, poison sac.
Okay. Yeah, that's that image is never gonna leave my head. Pikachu with one ear up looks a little inappropriate.
It looks like a venom sac with the stinger. Come on.
Exactly. It works.
Yeah, it's definitely a thing. Are there any like of its fangs that didn't get destroyed?
You're the one who shattered it, so yeah, they got destroyed because of shattered.
Huh.
That's exactly how you described it. Its head, done, evaporated,
Are
vaporized.
there any like body
think
spikes? Or...
You pink misted a purple worm.
I don't think that fighting any more of these would be in our best interest right now. But my curiosity is piqued. So
Why don't you take a step
I'm going
with
to
some
try
of that flesh?
and go in.
No, don't go
Emily.
in. We can't afford to lose you. I can't
It's
do that
okay.
thing again. I can't do it again. It's
It will be okay. If I start taking, if I start hurting, if it starts dripping on me, I'll run right out.
but you
I'll run
will.
right out.
You will
I-
take damage.
I do have something if she needs it.
What do you have?
you might need to sit there.
Here.
Can I get a
okay.
nature check from somebody?
I'll do nature. 22.
So this area was described to you as a
Nest.
Nesting
there you
site.
go.
Yeah. This is a nesting site. I don't think we want to linger here any longer than we have to. We barely
Surely.
survived. We barely survived this time. Look at these three.
Surely it has. It will be okay. What do you have for me, Nancy?
Like, touch your face
Oh.
and cast protection from poison.
But it was acid.
Isn't that still considered poison damage?
Nope.
No.
Acid was on the inside.
Guys,
poison
give him-
was
give
on
him-
the
cut him a-
mighty outside.
Give him a break. Cut him some slack. Cut him some slack.
It's fine. It's fine. If honestly, we probably should have cast that before the attack, but we didn't know it was coming. You
Thank
probably
you.
would. You would have been better off. So we've got that done. Please, let's not die. We have to save Cram.
Minutes.
How long?
5 minutes.
45 seconds.
Deal. Tell me when.
I'm already counting.
Oh, she's gonna start. She's gonna rush in there.
They went.
Keep in mind that's 4 rounds, almost 5 rounds, so that's more than a level 20 character's health.
Okay, well, let's just take it really slow. Actually, not we'll rush in initially, but I mean, am I seeing anything while I'm looking in there? I mean, do I see any white or cream-colored ballish forms? I assume that's what their eggs look like. I have no idea. I'm going in blind.
Literally, because you don't have dark vision.
Well, I do have that light on my. No, I don't have that light on my hat, but I can cast light on my hat.
So what are you trying to do here?
Trying to find
trying to-
eggs inside the worm.
Just peeking inside slowly. I don't want to just rush 30 feet in there.
So make a nature check for me as you go in.
I don't
A
actually have a timer.
A what?
A 14?
So this worm doesn't have a uvula, so it's clearly not a girl worm. But no, so look, examining it, this does appear to be a male, and that might be why it got so aggressive as you entered the area.
No eggs. Well,
Your time's up.
she's gonna like. Ugh. All right, I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
Precipitation. Let's get out of here. Where's that? Where's Rosad?
He's climbing back out of the hole with the venom sac tied to his back.
Valerie will help him up for the last little bit. Will the
Yeah,
sack-
I was doing what we came to do.
Good. You seem to know this better than us. Would the sack fit in the bag of holding?
It fits on the back of Shelby, certainly.
Let's do that. Okay, let's get out of here quickly. Once we get somewhere a little bit more secure, I think you three look like you need a quick, short rest, huh?
We'll be okay. The adrenaline's still kicking.
At
I'm
this point,
fairly-
the adrenaline wears off. My endorphins. Anyway. So you load the venom sac onto the back of Shelby and begin to head your way back to Nolthies.
Mm-hmm. How long was the journey here?
A few hours.
Okay. So we don't want to spend like an hour sitting down to short rest before we get back. Just to like we find a rocky area and do that just so we can recover a little bit.
Sure. So as you sit down to begin your short rest, what happens next will be a story for another time.
Yeah.
So everybody, that will be a shorter stream today. We didn't want to go too far into the evening without two of our players. There is something I forgot to mention during the beginning of today's stream that we normally announce. However, in case you didn't know, it is Pride Month, everybody. Happy June, happy Pride Month to everybody. We would like to remind everyone that during Pride Month and during the month of July as well, we are selling our Pride merch on our Roll with Pride merch on our Redbubble store at lichsouls.com/merch. We'll redirect you to the Redbubble store. There are a wide variety of Pride related designs that you can get all sorts of merch made for. Stickers, there's all sorts of stuff. All of the proceeds, so meaning every cent of profit that we earn from the sale of those items and designs during the months of June and July will be donated directly to the Trevor Project. So keep that in mind. My personal favorite is the Lich Please shirt. Miss Frisia Bones classic design, but we also have potion bottles on there with like really, I honestly think that the potion bottles would be a really cool tattoo to get, with representing a bunch of the different flags of the LGBT plus community. So check out the designs, it's for a great reason. I would like to thank all of our players for being here tonight, so thank you to everyone. Making it short and sweet, I'm gonna go ahead and pass it on over to Jeremiah, who plays Rosad.
So we didn't kill Naoki today.
No, you did not.
That's a pretty big one. We had some passive aggressiveness from Rosad. We went and fought a worm, and a couple of us almost died. That was pretty scary. We also met a follower of Kydra, which I think is a first for the campaign. That's the is that the third, technically the fourth of the gods that we've seen so far, or at least the influence of them, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I can't wait to see what else happens. Hopefully Cram isn't a shoe rack when we get back. And yeah, I'll pass it over to Quentin, aka Renatus.
Hey, thank you, Jeremiah. And that's me. I was told to keep it short tonight, so see ya. Anyway,
I got jokes.
yeah. Anyway, yeah, great session, great fight. Even though I'm on the verge of death, but I guess technically Renatus is always on the verge of death. Anyway, thank you as always to all of our wonderful role players. Thank you to everyone who's chatting up in chat. Thank you to our wonderful DM Michael for bringing us together each and every week that we can with this amazing story he has created for us. And Guy, I believe it is your turn now.
It is a turn that we've been waiting for some time. I don't know why that joke happened. Good session. Long rest was fun. We got a new prophecy, which I always love to see prophecies. Some good lore building with some potential reflections of some maybe past mistakes made by our party and the Seekers that might spell doom for all of mortals. Who knows? I mean, we're idiots. We screw everything up, but it was fun playing with everyone. Good to have a little conversation with Rosad. And good that everyone died, because it was close a couple moments there. And I do really love the fact that Valerie just like purposely gets swallowed by the worm and just barely gets away with the escape plan. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Sorry we missed our British connection, but yeah, let's pass it on to Emmeline herself. See what she has to say about the events of the night.
I thought the save that Valerie did was super PogChamp. I think everyone actually did really well this fight. The worm was obviously doing a lot of damage to us, but we were doing a ton of damage to that worm. Big time rolls, big time damage. Great time. I'm excited for us to go back to the city next session and maybe poke around a little more in Rosad's history and figure out a couple more things. But really, that's all I've got to say. I'm excited for next week And with that, I'm going to pass it over to Isaac, who plays the ever optimistic Naoki.
Yeah, it was a really fun session. I mean, we got to go. First, Razad managed to talk his way out of murdering me. So that's fun. And then also, right before we had this little worm thing, Emlyn's adventurous side kicked in and she really paid the price and had a nice trip session. And then it was fun, like, getting to meet the guy and getting that Kydro lore drop, like, you know, little lore drops here and there. We always love those. And then, of course, fighting the worm is always fun. It was really scary, honestly, watching as several of the party members just, you know, kind of got turned into worm food.
Everyone but Razad.
He's riding on the ass the whole time.
Yeah, he's an ass man.
But yeah, that's all I have. I'll pass it back over to the DM.
Thanks so much there, and thank you to everyone who tuned in tonight. I will be seeing you all next week at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here at twitch.tv/LichSouls. Also let everybody know that Thursday through Sunday next week, there will be no streams here on the Lich Souls channel due to it being Pride Weekend here where we live, which I have to work. So until then, everybody, we'll see you all next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here at twitch.tv/LichSouls. Until then, bye!
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.